And this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Wednesday episode of Coach and Company. It is October 8th, 2025, and we are thrilled that you are here. We are live every single weekday on Stadium Network, Bally Sports Live, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. We are available in over 100 million homes. Today's show brought to you by the Four Letter Word Club, the most exclusive club in all of golf. More details to come in the very, very near future. Now, yesterday, an exciting day on the diamond. How did we do with our picks here at the show, however? Well, before we look forward, we must always look back. And Soupy coming in strong. I will deal with young Peyton, but you know our rule. We want to win more than we lose. 4-4, a little kiss your sister kind of day. But when you do it every single day, sometimes you have those. All right, a couple of housekeeping items. If you want to be a premium member, today's the day, because starting tonight, we got some midweek college football. That means we have a premium pop-up. That's exactly right. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be live betting the college football, live betting the baseball. Come and be a part of what we're doing. Scan that QR code and join right now. And while you are there, pick up a piece of our brand new merch. If you bet wrestling or you're a Mamby-Pamby or whatever you like, rep the brand, send us a picture. We'll throw it up onto the show. Now, setting the stage for today, you guys love Wednesdays, and so do we. It is Rant Wednesday, and my boys are ready to go to get a little something off their chest. Also, 4 games in the majors today as far as playoffs are concerned. 2 different series could end today, Cubs, Brewers, and the Dodgers and the Phillies. Coming up at the bottom of the hour also, we look ahead. We go back to school. There's some big games on the college gridiron. Big Ten, SEC, we break it down, try to beat the number. And an NFL head coach fined 100 large. Is it warranted? We will discuss right here in the next 60 minutes. Housekeeping over. Oh, they're ready. So am I. Let's beat the books. All right, last night I heard voices from coast to coast. And we start with the man in the upper right-hand corner, because I could have sworn as the ghosts of Yankees passed, as that ball sailed into the New York sky, say, stay fair, stay fair. And it did. Mr. Aaron Judge changing the fortunes live from Stamford, Connecticut. Big Tommy C. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, fellas. I think Mickey Mantle was up there on the pole last night having a couple of cocktails with Billy Martin, and he just hit the ball that side. But I'll take it. A win's a win, guys.
And at some point, sitting in his living room, we heard another voice screaming a few miles away. That voice? Oh, the man that's right below Big Tommy C. He goes by one name here on this brand. Hello, Zeno.
Coach, gentlemen, good morning. Great to be with you. As elating and ecstatic as I was after last night, if you can't do it again tonight, it was a nice moment, but it's all for naught, because if you're the Yankees, it's win the World Series or you suck.
Or you suck. That's true. So it's 2-1. It was a nice moment. We'll talk more about that game coming up in about 20 minutes. Now, he is live from Sure Dog, USA. Mikey P, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I have never seen, a single player's entire postseason narrative change on one swing. I mean, one home run, Aaron Judge now has 7 World Series rings. It's funny how that narrative.
It did kind of feel that way. All right, boys. I know you guys. You're not happy with 4-4. So that's where we need to start right here, right now. Banger picks. Also, we'll have a bunch of live picks going on tonight as well, so you guys need to tune in for that. So, Zeno, I want to start with you. Best bets on a Wednesday. Go.
Cubs, who are facing elimination on the money line. I have been salivating at this opportunity to bet against Quinn Priester, who at one point led his team to 19 consecutive wins. This guy is a fraud. Okay, this is not a legitimate winning streak that he had. Not only that, he's got a 6.28 ERA against the Cubs this year. Gave up 3 bombs, allowed them to hit .293 against him. salivating at the opportunity to fade Quinn Priester. Cubs stay alive tonight. And why not keep running with the Yankees' first five? You leave the Yankees bullpen out of it because they stink. They're absolutely awful. And if the Yankees don't get a lead early, I wouldn't count on them pulling off the miracle comeback again 2 nights in a row. Cam Schlittler should be enough here as the Yankees lead after 5 innings by a run or more.
He's awesome. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name moving forward because I know how you say it and I know how they say it, but I know how this mouth says it, and it doesn't say it correctly at all. Now, one of the beauties of a betting show is that you can disagree, and you at home take the information for what it is, and you make your own decision. And sometimes I actually kind of like it, like this moment right here. Zeno is on the Cubs. Salivating, he says. Let's go upstairs because the man on the other side of the fence, he loves himself a little confrontation. Big Tommy, let's start with the Brewers. Why do you like them so much today?
I'm taking the Brewers money line plus 102. They've hit. They're just knocking people all over the place. I think the Cubs are kind of like the Yankees, man. They just don't hit when they need to hit. I think the Brewers own them. And a little fact I have is the Cubs have trailed after 3 innings in each of their last 4 games against NL Central opponents that have had a winning record. The last time I looked, the Brewers have a winning record. And I think it's a layup for the Brewers today.
So more of a gut for you, and
Yes.
Zeno is standing on a pitcher's bad performance. Zeno, would you like to respond to Tommy's Brewers pick?
Yeah, let's start with the last part. They do play 9 innings, not just 3, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad they were trailing.
I got it.
4 innings to play after, so
But
that's
if you're down 6-0, after 3 innings, that hurts.
They were down 6-1 last night. The team that you said was a lot like the Yankees.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, I love playing on desperate teams who are facing elimination, and that's the spot here. And plus, we all know the Brewers are a little fugazi. They're
Fugazi. He said it,
Boo,
Coach.
he said
That's
it
gotta be a
correctly, too.
t-shirt.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so Tommy, you also made history.
Yes.
Today.
I
Because
have.
this is the first
I'm
time.
taking.
Whoa,
Yes.
Let me give you some flowers.
Sorry.
Let me give you some flowers.
Sorry.
First time you've ever turned in 3 picks in one day. So I've got to see how this sounds as you give me 2 more.
Yeah, I'm jumping on the Giant game tomorrow night in MetLife, where the Eagles have 1 more games than the Giants have in MetLife Stadium. So I'm taking receptions. Devon Smith, this is a layup, 5+ minus 128. All the signings that the Giants have signed in the secondary are just friggin' horrible. I'm going with passing yards. Jalen Hurts, 200+ minus 103. Hopefully the pass rush will be there, but he'll still get 200 yards. And the Eagles have covered the spread in 7 of their last 8 road games. Like I said, they win more games at MetLife than the Giants do.
It's insanely crazy. And
That's true.
The thing I love about these 2 plays from you, Tommy, is that the Eagles are coming off a game where they gave up a 14-point lead. They're going to be there. It's not desperosity, but it is. They're not going to take their foot off the gas. Is my point.
Nope.
Because of giving up that 14-point lead on Sunday to Denver. So I love both of these. And what do you do when you need a win? You put your ball in your team's best player's hands, and that's Jalen Hurts, and that's Devontae Smith. All right, Mikey P. We've heard from Zeno. We've heard from Big Tommy. Bring us home. Let's go.
Well, I think I'm the only one whose voice can get this high, so don't worry, Zeno. I got it. A little synergy with me and Zeno here because I like the Cubs team total first 5 over 1.5 for every single reason that Zeno laid out. Quinn Priester absolutely sucks. This guy started as a Boston Red Sox, so I hope he gets lit up. And there is no better place in October, maybe besides Yankee Stadium and Fenway, than Wrigley Field. Facing elimination, good luck hearing yourself think, Quinn Priester. And then premium pop-up, how do you do? That's right, Missouri State, the Missouri State, probably about an hour from where I sit. I am taking Missouri State minus 1.5. They've covered in 3 of their last 4 games. And when you see a wide receiver with this name, how do you not jump all over it? Dash Luke. It's a little same game parlay. So Missouri State minus 1.5 and Dash Luke 63 or more receiving yards for a plus 224.
So Mikey, just like Zeno and Big Tommy aren't exactly the best of friends this morning. You kind of gave Big Tommy a little backward slap as well. You and I are going to have some issues today because don't know if you realize this, but I'm kind of known as the midweek college football whisperer. I didn't call myself that. They do. And tonight, when you take Missouri State over Middle Tennessee State, clearly you did not watch last week against Western Kentucky when Missouri State looked the part until they did not. Tonight, it's a home game. It's a Wednesday. And oh, yes, we'll be able to live bet it together on the premium show tonight. So I'm going opposite you, big dog. I'm taking Middle Tennessee State. Then Liberty. Yeah, I'm looking at a bunch of L's since week number 1 when they beat who? Oh, was that Middleton? No, it was not. See, I'm going opposite everybody else, and I love Liberty tonight getting the points, but it's been switching all over the place, so I'm taking the points out of it. Minus 115, give me the money lines, basically even on both sides. But Mr. Mikey P, we're going head up tonight, big dog. Head up tonight.
I like an easy battle. You know, it's a Wednesday night. I don't have much to worry about. It's all good. Dash Luke. Have you heard of him?
Shut up. Have you heard of him? I will tell you this, that these teams that play in the middle of the afternoon, or middle of the week, if you haven't ever seen these, there's about 8 people in the stands. There's more TV crews than there are actual fans. But hey, it doesn't change the tickets. Zeno, how much do you love midweek college football? And now that it's not just MACtion, but it seems like there's a lot of conferences that want this spotlight.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, listen, it gives us something to look at, something to watch, and a little bit extra flavor in gambling. I will tell you, though, Middle Tennessee State stinks.
I know they do. Absolutely do.
In the country.
Missouri State can't hold a lead. I know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a fan of the bet, don't watch philosophy. You better not watch.
We're watching, and we're watching it live. We're doing it live with our premium members tonight. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a barbecue.
Man, you need help, okay? Because that's not a game that I would watch. I would never bet on Middle Tennessee State and watch it. Just make the bet, check your phone 3 hours later, and go, do I have money or not?
And you're saying I won't.
I'm not saying you won't. I'm saying Middle Tennessee State stinks.
I actually agree with you. It's just more of a gut feeling because I am so tired. I'll be honest with you. I am so tired of betting on teams this year only to watch double-digit leads go down. Last week, Charlotte was getting 28.5 points. They were down 26 points in 7 minutes. And do you know what the live number was halfway through the first quarter last week? Anyone? 51. You could have gotten Charlotte plus 51 points, and they end up losing by 6 or 7. So it was the craziest live play I've ever seen. 51. I couldn't even believe what I was looking at. And they end up coming back and scoring late. These bad teams, they do something, Zeno. I don't know. It's a gut. Mikey, he doesn't agree with me. All right, great job. All right, our best bets are in, but we're just getting started. You guys know what we do on Wednesdays. We sometimes, when you're in this business, you get a little frustrated. You get a little upset. That's why we rant. Also, we have 4 big games on the diamond tonight that you can bet on. 2 of those series, they could be over. Philadelphia, what are you doing? And on the college gridiron, everybody's talking about Georgia, Alabama, A&M, all these teams, except the best team, the most dominant team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Will they continue that this week? Big time game on the road in Champaign, or as Soupy likes to say, Champaign. It's Champaign, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. We're just getting started. I love Wednesdays, presented by the 4-letter word club. It's Coaching Company on Stadium and also Valley Sports Live. All right, boys, topic number 1 as we continue on for those watching on our YouTube page. OBJ went on one of, I think, the Pivot podcast, one of those, and he admitted that he is sitting out a 6-game suspension for PEDs when the NFL at the end of last year told him his testosterone was too high but couldn't tell him what he took. Zeno, the question is not should he be ashamed or anything like that. The question is, did we even know that he was still in the protocol?
Yeah, like why are we talking about Odell Beckham Jr.? Period. One of the most overhyped, overrated, over everything receivers in the history of this league. The Giants made the worst decision ever in drafting him and passing on Aaron Donald for this clown.
Oh.
God, I mean, it was one of the worst decisions that franchise ever made, and it set him back a decade. And they catered to this.
They did because one catch. That was it.
Talking about Odell Beckham Jr. Go away.
Tommy, this dude has had more lives than a cat. It's unbelievable.
He's got a Super Bowl ring. Dear Lord.
Yeah. I don't get it, Coach. I agree with Zeno completely. I never wanted him at all. He was a big hot dog here. He had an attitude. Everybody catered to him, and he never produced in the big time ever. That one catch, that was it. Who cares? Why is this even news that he has suspended 6 games or whatever he suspended? It's just ridiculous. Go away.
It's the number one story on ESPN.com right now. Can you believe that? Mikey, I got about 20 seconds for you.
Guys, he made a one-handed catch. You guys are just haters. I mean, Odell Beckham will go down in Giants' legendary history, and he has a Super Bowl ring with Aaron Donald. So take that.
That's true. He was with the Rams that year. By the way, speaking of one-handed catches, anybody see the kid from Baylor who's going to be, oh, my God. You got to look up his catch Saturday against Kansas State. One-handed, left hand, streaking down the sidelines in the fourth quarter when they needed it. Best catch all year. You got to look it up. His name's Twigs or Triggs, something like that. Crazy. We're back live. It's time for rants in 5 seconds. Okay, me and my boys are back. This is Coach and Company on a Wednesday. Getting through the week. Super busy. We're knee-deep with tons of our content. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. Now, a quick reminder, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for you premium members, and you can join at any point in the chat or on our YouTube page. We encourage you to come join us live betting. It'll pay for itself in one single solitary ticket. Now, there's sometimes when you're a sports fan or sports betting, it can be very difficult. It can get you down, frustrated, and you just need to let things out. And a former member of our crew here, who we loved very, very much. I've known him since we worked together at ESPN. He passed away in 2024. And so I always promised that we'd keep his memory alive because he was as a curmudgeon as curmudgeons come. He hated technology. He hated getting ready in the morning. And he loved the F word. And so do we. Because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, every day can be an F day.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first F day. Welcome to the first F day. Pardon me.
I love that.
God, I miss him. Oh, my. I wish you guys could have heard those phone calls at 3 a.m. when he was going to dialysis and still wanted to come on the show. That's how dedicated that man was to what we are building. So we always pay tribute to him. Now, he would not like us to be soft on our rants today. He wouldn't. So, Tommy, I think I'm going to start with you because when the team that you live and die by blows another double-digit lead, it begs the question today, Big Tommy C, what are you ranting on right now?
You know, Coach, my team is the only team that could do what they do. We have a show called Monday Night Grind, and we do a segment called Boom or Bust. My team is the only team that could boom and bust one week and bust in the next week. And let me tell you how that happens, folks. It's when you have our coach, Brian Dable, one of the smartest guys we ever know. He made history in the NFL, folks. Yes, he did. And congratulations to Brian Dable for history because they've had 5 possessions against the New Orleans Saints who haven't won a game and 5 turnovers. Hey, Brian, you're doing a hell of a job, kid. 5 possessions, 5 turnovers. John Mara, just keep this guy. We love him. Unbelievable. Boom one week, bust the next week. Monday Night Grind. catch.
It's hard to have 5 turnovers and 5 possessions. It's hard to do.
Good. Yeah, the Giants did it very
gosh.
easily.
Oh my God! I almost
What a
thought
joke.
they were heading. Oh, what a joke! All right, now great start, Big Tommy C. Now, Zeno, let me come over to you because sometimes there's moves in the NFL that kind of go under the radar just a little bit. Then there's others that you kind of scratch your head. So I ask you one single solitary question right now, Mr. Zeno. What are you ranting on today?
The Cincinnati Bengals once again proved they have no idea what they're doing when it comes to running a football team. It started this offseason with the ridiculous holdout of Trey Hendrickson, who was their best defensive player, and all they did was bump him up $60 million for 1 year so he could become an unrestricted free agent again. They have all this mess. They never address the offensive line issues. They get Joe Burrow hurt. And then all of a sudden they think that Jake Browning is the answer because he played well 2 years ago in a 3-game stretch. And you found out, guess what? Jake Browning stinks. Like Middle Tennessee State stinks. And guess what? You decided the way to fix that Band-Aid problem was to trade for Joe Flacco. The guy who just got benched for Dylan Gabriel? Like, this is what your organization says. I got an idea. Let's go get Joe Flacco. Like, Kirk Cousins is sitting out there. There are other young quarterbacks sitting out. Like, what are you doing, Cincinnati? And, oh, by the way, it doesn't matter if you bring in Joe Flacco or Joe Namath. If your offensive line doesn't block, the guy's going to be on his ass anyway. One of the Bengals fire the coach, fire everybody, sell the team, and move it somewhere else.
I'm going to have that in my head all day. Joe Flacco. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. Thank you, Zeno, very, very much. All right. From the toiling Cincinnati Bengals to a team that has a robust leader at quarterback that has become kind of the favorite in the National Football League. Mikey P, got to come to you. What are you ranting on today?
Fans, when your team loses, just take your L. You saw the viral video of Baker Mayfield getting into it with a Seahawks fan in Seattle before the game, and then Baker Mayfield comes back after the game and said, "I told you so. I told you so." And the most infuriating thing of this entire situation is the fan going, "You still suck." I'm sorry. Did you see the final result? Did you see the scoreboard? Here's Baker Mayfield with 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. You know what 1 interception does? It costs your Seahawks the game. So who really sucks, Seahawk fans? I'm so sick of these fans who pay crazy amount of money thinking they can tell a player as they pay to watch, "Hey, you suck." Yeah, no, Baker Mayfield's the MVP favorite. Get used to it.
4 wins in the final minute of the game through 5 weeks. 4 in the final minute of the game for the Bucs and Baker Mayfield. All right, Mikey P, I will see your 30-year-old middle finger, by the way, and I will raise you an 82-year-old finger, by the way, because Jerry Jones continues to be the gift that keeps on giving. What did he tell us on Netflix that he is the best at in life? Borrowing money. If that is a talent, God bless you, Jerry Jones. But you're also kind of like the bully you had in 10th grade that you picked on the little kid that had no chance. That's what Jets fans are. And when you go on the road and you score 37 and you beat the Jets, and then you flip off a fan, but then you take that 82-year-old middle finger and you turn it into the index finger, and then you point at him as if there's anything you're going to do. At 82 years old, you're 2-2. Your team's not very good, and you just beat the Jets. And you continue to think that your stuff matters. You're getting attention for a middle finger. Jerry Jones, Jerry Jones. Now, let's go from one billionaire to another future billionaire and his baseball team, Shohei Ohtani. Because, guys, tonight, they have a chance to continue their dominance through the playoffs so far. It's been a Dodger parade. Zeno, I'm going to start with you because Philadelphia, who had a great year, they can't seem to figure out playoff baseball during this window with Bryce Harper. And if I'm a Phillies fan and it ends again tonight, I mean, this has been as devastating as you can get.
Certainly has been. I mean, they looked as like the strongest team in baseball coming into these playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for all the Dodgers bluster, who had a very mediocre regular season by their standards, or at least preseason standards of 106.5 wins for them, the Dodgers, playoff version Dodgers, looked like the Dodgers we thought they would all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality of it. They are a very solid, fundamentally sound baseball team, and they will beat up everybody in their path. And I, as much as I love playing on desperate teams, you have to have a starting pitcher that kind of makes me want to back you. And the Phillies don't have that going right now with Aaron Nola. I like the Dodgers team total over 4.5 tonight, even at plus money. But I don't think Nola gets it done. I think runs are scored, and the Dodgers probably pack this thing up in 3.
He has fallen off a cliff, hasn't he? He used to be a great pitcher. He used to be an ace, but that was a few years ago. And Mikey P tonight, I almost, and I hate to say this as betting advice, in the playoffs for the Dodgers, if they're less than minus 200, I won't worry about the run line. I'll lay those 80 cents.
Yeah, I am not buying into anything for the Philadelphia Phillies. And I think, unfortunately, they're going to be the repetitive case in baseball where if it doesn't work out for them, they're just going to throw all their money into free agency this upcoming offseason. You've already heard those whispers. When you already hear talk about what your team could do going into the offseason before you're even eliminated out of the playoffs, just get eliminated out of the playoffs. Do us all a favor. And I think Shohei Ohtani will highlight in this game, and we'll see why the Dodgers are a World Series favorite.
I agree with that. I think Bryce Harper and Mike Trout continue to be the Dan Marinos of the last 10 or 15 years of Major League Baseball. Now, the team they played last year in the World Series, of course, is the New York Yankees. They have a chance to stave off elimination again tonight. And Zeno, I'll come right back to you because sometimes in the playoffs, a win of that stature when you're down by a lot of runs, you come back, your best player, your captain hits a big-time home run. You felt that momentum because that home run only tied the game. They had to keep playing. So now how do they take that momentum and tie the series at 2 tonight?
It's the old adage, momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher, and that's ultimately what it boils down to for the Yankees. Because in reality, those high emotional games set you up for a letdown the next day. It's hard to get back up emotionally again. They were facing elimination. They're doing it again. It's hard to do it in back-to-back situations, which is why you see it's so rare that teams come back from these holes that they dig themselves into. So if Cam Schlittler is not good tonight, the Yankees will be in trouble. You'll know it's going to be over pretty early. It'll be really hard for them to come back again. I mean, I could harken back to my youth before young Mikey P was even born in the late 90s and early 2000s when the Yankees would come back on everybody in every postseason spot. Those days are long gone. George Steinbrenner is long gone, and this is a different ball club. Luckily, they have the greatest right-handed hitter since Joe DiMaggio on their team and the best player in baseball by a mile. It's not even close.
I'm not a Yankees fan, but I did live in the New York area for over a decade, right at a decade. And when the Yankees are great and when you have a great player like Judge, there's nothing better. There's no better atmosphere. October, you guys know it, that Northeast flavor, you can smell it, you can feel it, the leaves. There's nothing better. Mikey P, if Aaron Judge can get going, because last night, after he hit that home run, they walked him the next at bat with the bases empty. He's getting the Barry Bonds treatment. So maybe this is a corner they're walking around.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're going to have Michael Jordan's shoulder shrug, The Rock with his goosebumps, and then Aaron Judge pointing to the ground after that home run celebration that will go down in history of some of the best celebrations ever. Aaron Judge, he had every reason to celebrate. 528 pitches were thrown out of the zone this season, over 99 miles an hour, and he's the only guy to take one for a home run. That changes all momentum. But as Zeno said, it's going to come down to the rookie. It's going to come down to Cam Schlittler. And if he can rise to the occasion like he did in the wild card round against the Red Sox, I think we not only have a series, we have all momentum on the Yankee side.
We know he can handle the pressure. He was historic in his last outing. 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, 0 bases on balls. This dude's the real deal. They're happy to hand him the ball tonight. All right, we go back to school next. Is number 1 Ohio State the best team with a bullet? We'll discuss it next. Coach and Company, Stadium, and Bally Sports Live. Oh, they just keep talking about the Ryder Cup. And this is the problem, because I work in the golf industry. this is the problem with headlines and golf journalists and all my buddies out there that cover golf, because you put up headlines like this. Colin Morikawa had a quote. He says, "I want absolute chaos at the Ryder Cup." And then somebody wrote an article saying it was Colin Morikawa's fault that they threw beer at Rory McIlroy's wife, that they called all these guys names and went over the line. So yesterday, Zeno, Colin Morikawa had to, in an interview, address it and said, "It's not my fault the fans acted that way." Is this crazy that people are blaming Colin Morikawa for all of that?
I mean, look, I guess the only thing I can liken it to is that he might have been the match that started the whole fire, but you know, it helps when it doesn't help when your house is made out of paper, right? It went up pretty easy. It didn't need much igniting for them to do it. If he said he wanted chaos, the New York fans and the Long Island fans were going to give him chaos. So I don't think it's 100% his fault, because all these people are adults and can be held accountable for their own actions. But it's not like he certainly said what Rory was saying about the decorum of golf. I really would like some good decorum from these fans. No, he was asking lots of noise.
And he got some, Mikey P. But the fact that he's addressing it, I always say if you address it, you feel some kind of way about it. But this story was just bad all the way around.
Yeah, also, it's 2025. No matter what message you send out on any platform, people are going to act on their own decisions. It doesn't matter what you say. They're just going to act. And like Zeno said, New York fans, Long Island fans, what did you expect? We're not in the middle of Iowa where everyone's going to be polite and nice. No, you got what you asked for. Don't address it.
We're
Hey,
nice.
I got married in Iowa. They're not always so nice.
Thank
They're
you.
not always so nice. I don't think she's watching this morning, by the way. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Having a good time. Great vibe today. Don't forget, we have a full day of content coming out of BTT Studios. In addition to our morning show here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live, we have a supporting podcast around 11:15, 11:20 a.m. Turn on your notifications. You can watch on social media or at our Coaching Company YouTube page. Then at 2 o'clock, Off the Ropes with the Coach, I have my own pro wrestling show on SiriusXM channel 156. I encourage you to watch that. And then tonight, our first premium pop-up. We're going to be live betting college football, baseball. So join. You can do it in the chat. We always throw up the QR code throughout the show. Come be a part of what we're doing on the premium side. We give out live plays all the time. It'll pay for itself in like 2 seconds. All right. Now, every single Wednesday, and now there's midweek football, so it makes a lot of sense. We like to get ahead of the number. And you have seen the last couple of weeks that no lead is safe in football, and the numbers have been somewhat efficient. So on Wednesdays, and I know you shudder, a lot of you out there, we go back to school. All right, nobody has been talking about this team so far in the last, 4 weeks? And they're the number 1 team in the country. Mikey P, let me start with you, because last week they gave up 3 to Minnesota. The week before they gave up 6 to Washington. The week before they gave up 9 to Ohio. The week before that, a goose egg to, I don't even know, Grambling. And the week before that, 7 to Texas. What I mean is they haven't given up double digits all year. And now they go on the road for their first big test. Illinois, they've been pretty good, but Indiana scored over 60 on them. So my question, look at that money line. Is Ohio State far and away, in your opinion, the best team in the country?
Well, for Soupy and those who are bad at math, that's 25 total points given up by the Ohio State defense this year. It doesn't get much better than that. I think this number is accurate. I think we saw a team that got blown out over 50 in Illinois taking on Indiana. So, yeah, I would expect Ohio State. Don't talk about them. That's fine. Don't talk about them. The less conversation we have about Ohio State, the less points they give up. So I like Ohio State clearing away in this one.
Zeno, I'll bring it over to you.
The only real contention in this game is figuring out what a young freshman quarterback in Julian Sayin can do against an actual legitimate defense. Because I don't know that he's really faced one yet. I mean, in his first start of the year against Texas, which may be the best defense he faced, they were only able to put up 14 points. So this is a different spot. It's a road game in the Big Ten that are very tough. The number is accurate. I will say that much. By my numbers, 14.5 is probably a little short, as a matter of fact, actually. There's probably some meat left on the bone for Ohio State to get there. But that said, that's really what this boils down to. I would look at this as a first half under situation here, where if Illinois can do their best when they have their most energy to keep Julian Sain and Ohio State to field goals, they'll be able to hang in this thing. But other than that, if Ohio State can come out running and scoring fast, Illinois doesn't have the catch-up ability in this spot.
Oh, I agree with that big time. And remember, the rules have changed just a little bit this year in college football. You've got the top 4 seeds will be getting a bye. So we're seeing teams scoring late. We're seeing teams trying to get the score to where this is the type of game, guys, that when they're doing the seeding in December, they'll look back and go, okay, but they won't remember the game. And you look at Ohio State, after this week, they go to Wisconsin, and then they have Penn State at home, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and then Michigan. Their schedule is not exactly a murderer's row. So I think we can expect Ohio State to be one of those 4. And for Illinois, everything's on the table this week. You can't have a bad loss by 50 against Indiana and then have a bad loss by 50 against Ohio State and then still hope to get one of those at-large bids into the playoffs. All right, let's flip it over, guys, to the next game. The SEC, it's incredible. Right now, 10 teams are inside of the top 20. Every week is an absolute banger, and you better be ready to go, or you're going to do what Pavia did last week, and turnovers can cost you a big win. And they played Alabama, and Alabama hasn't been great, but their defense is opportunistic. Mikey, let me start with you on this one, because they're going to go to Missouri. Missouri's the top 15 team right now. This is going to be an electric atmosphere, and they're only giving 3.
Yeah, my new adopted home of Missouri. I don't know. I may have to put in a call, Coach. Could you help me out? Could I get to this game here? No, listen, for me, I love the over on this game because Missouri has scored 40 or more points in 4 of their 5 games. And I look at, listen, this is not UMass. This is Alabama. But this isn't my Alabama, Zeno's Alabama, or Coach's Alabama. Not to age anyone here, but I like Missouri on the over here, and I think it's going to be a much closer game than we give them credit for.
Now, this may sound crazy coming out of my mouth, Zeno, but is it possible they have an emotional letdown after the win at Vandy? Because that atmosphere last week in Tuscaloosa was off the charts.
Sure. I mean, there's always letdown spots and look-ahead spots in the SEC because it seems like everybody is ranked and there's always a big opponent on deck. So I think you kind of have to throw that out the window here. But there are 2 certainties I know. Alabama is much better than the 8th ranked team in the country, and Missouri is not the 14th best team. This number is shorter than my power rankings have it. I would not bet Missouri here. I would only bet Alabama. If I see a 2.5 pop up, I think you fire on Alabama or even Alabama money line. If you get something under 150, look, Alabama is really good. For my money, they're the 3rd best team in the country behind Ohio State and Oregon. And I think they're undervalued here in this spot. And I think odds makers are sort of waiting for them to trip up again to see if it really happens here. I just don't think Missouri is good enough to do it here.
I think that's a great take. I agree 1,000%. I could go either way on Alabama, but I lean towards a much better than what the books have them because they're still thinking about that loss to Florida State and what they look like the first week of the season. They've got so much better. They've beaten Georgia now. They've beaten Vanderbilt now at home. Coming up at Auburn, for Missouri, I have the wrong team. For Alabama, what they have coming up after today, Tennessee at home, at South Carolina, then LSU at home, Oklahoma at home, Eastern Illinois at home, and then they go to Auburn. So their 2 toughest games after this week will come at home. So they've got a lot of nice things in their future. Let's flip it over to game number 3, because last week we saw the making of a star for the Florida Gators. This freshman is an absolute dude, and they took Texas, and they took Arch Manning, and they look like the absolute better team. Texas A&M on the flip side, they were giving 17.5, and they were listless for 2.5 quarters. And Mississippi State had the lead into the second half, and then Texas A&M covered late giving that 17.5. They're now a top 10 team with a bullet. Mikey P, is Texas A&M as good as they have shown so far?
I believe so, and I believe Marcel Reed's one of the best college quarterbacks in the country. So for me, kind of a letdown game against Mississippi State for him. I think this Florida team, they just showed what Arch Manning truly was. I'm not investing too much in that win. I think Ohio State started it and Florida kind of finished it. Now we have our narrative on Arch Manning. I think Texas A&M rolls in this one, and I like the over on this one as well.
It does feel that number, Zeno, or that performance against Texas is why it's only at 7.5. Is this kind of fool's gold for people who want to bet on Florida, Zeno?
No. I mean, a couple of things here. Number one, Texas A&M is a top 5 team in the country. And Marcel Reed is the best quarterback in the SEC that no one talks enough about. So I agree with Mike there. But let's just go back and do a little personal history of Mark Zeno here. I bet on Florida against South Florida and lost there. I bet on Florida against Miami and lost there. I bet on Florida against, who was it? Somewhere in the middle that I lost. Until I bet on them last week against Texas and finally won. And so guess what I'm going to do again this week?
Bet on Florida.
Again, because their defense is one of the 2 or 3 best defenses in the country. And that's really, if I look at what Auburn's defense did in Kyle Field to the Aggies, I think that this Florida defense is better than Auburn's. And if they can keep Marcel Reed and company to 16 points on the road, I think Florida's can do exactly the same. And that's kind of really what it is. You talked a little bit about the sort of slow start they had last week. Look, once they've gotten into SEC play, right? Going to beat Notre Dame 41-40 was cool. Notre Dame's defense is awful. Auburn was a problem. Mississippi State was a problem for a half. Florida's defense is the best defense on their schedule the rest of the year by a wide margin. And I will take the points. I don't know if Florida wins this game. I don't think they can win this game because their offense is a little bit, but nonetheless, Florida's defense will keep this close.
They're figuring out who to get the ball to now. And in college, you can have one dude, and that could change everything. It takes teams 3 or 4 weeks to go, yeah, let's make a freshman that dude. Their freshman is that dude. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. I got one more game I want to get to, and this is a top 10 matchup too. And this is a Mikey, is Indiana for real game because they've got to go to Oregon, and Oregon can fly around the field. Emotional win at Penn State. Your take on this one?
Well, all due respect, no respect to Indiana. Your best win was Illinois, and then you struggled against Iowa. I think Oregon's going to show exactly who they are, a team that went in and beat Penn State on the road, and they'll handle Indiana easily in this one.
Favorite coach of all of them in college football for me is Dan Lanning. His motions, they're on his sleeve all the time, and he wants this more than anybody. Talk to me.
It's really hard to win at Autzen Stadium. It's really, really hard to win at Autzen Stadium. It's one of the toughest places to play in all of college football. And for Indiana to go there and beat that team and that defense is hard. Now, can the Hoosiers cover this number? That's a little bit of a different conversation, right? I don't think they can win this game. I think Oregon is a fantastic money line parlay piece to find another friend because I don't think Indiana can win the game. But can they keep it close with Mendoza and that offense? Yes, I think they can. But here's my fear is that it's just one of those 3 or 4 point games that Oregon ices away late and their defense shuts the door after the fact. And, you end up on the wrong side of a plus 7.5.
It scares me a little bit that they were unable to finish the Penn State game. Big lead. They allowed Penn State just to go through them in the fourth quarter. That scares me a little bit for here. And it's kind of a safe face game, too. If Indiana doesn't get blown out, you keep them in mind maybe down the road. Everything shakes itself out when it comes to the playoff anyway. But if they want to stay in the conversation, you can't have a big blowout loss here. Gentlemen, well freaking done. Great advice, great content on our college games today. Again, premium tonight, live betting 2 college football games. On the other side, $100,000 fine. Is it warranted to coach a company? Stadium, Valley Sports Live. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page, Coach and Company podcast coming up at about 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. The Jets lock up forward Connor. When you see a headline with the Jets paying anybody, you think it's the Jets football. No. It's on the hockey season. Zeno, let me ask you this. October 7th, NHL starts their season. NBA is going to be October 14th. Is that too early for – I feel like it's way too early.
It is. I'm not sure why these leagues want to try to compete in the heart of NFL and college football season.
Thank you.
Rating standpoint. I mean, theoretically, you could kind of load your days on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, right? At the beginning of the year to put games on. But Monday night, I mean, Thursday night even to a certain extent. But once you get to Friday night, Saturday night college football, and Sunday football, unless you're playing a Sunday night game against a Sunday night game in the NFL, that's the only way you'd even have a chance to when it's a mano-a-mano matchup, and you're still going to get your butt whooped. So it doesn't make any sense to me.
They don't want to admit it, but Missouri State and Middle Tennessee State will crush all of their games tonight. It's just fact. They'll beat them with 8 people in the stands. Mikey, I'm not ready to watch the Thunder drop their banner next Tuesday night live on NBC, by the way. NBC on a Tuesday.
I'm disappointed in both of you gentlemen, because how did you not enjoy a 5 o'clock puck drop ring ceremony for the Florida Panthers on a Tuesday? What are we doing? Thankfully, I got the ESPN app, so I was able to watch it. It was fantastic. No, it was terrible.
When I saw the start time of that game, I even brought it up on the show, on one of the shows yesterday. I was like, how is this possible? The great lead singer of Limp Bizkit, what was his name? Remind me. Fred Durst once told me before he got in a fist fight with Creed, I don't perform when the sun is still out. I was like, damn, okay. Then they went, and I was standing there. It's legendary. I was in the room watching a 5-2 and a 5-3. A little disappointing. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right. So we have a fine in the NFL. And it's not a player, it is a coach. And last week, when Arizona had a chance to go up 28-6, DeMarcado, who's the running back for Arizona, pulled a Jonathan Taylor, was I think the last player to do it, and dropped the football going in for a 72-yard touchdown, and he got credit for a 71-yard run, and then his coach let him have it on the sidelines, and now a $100,000 fine. Zeno, let me start with you. Is this warranted?
I mean, look, it's always a dangerous line to cross when you put your hands on somebody else, right? Like, that's part of the problem. But the problem for Gannon is that this kind of stuff could cost him his job. And that's the reality of it. Because a player chose to do something stupid, which we've seen happens repeatedly all the time, and the player should know better. Yeah, you kind of do get a right to get your butt chewed out on national TV by your coach. Then again, there is the piece of it. And you know this because you're in fighting. Don't put your hands on somebody.
Ever.
You know, you want to grab his face mask, okay. Like, you want to get in his face and let a little spittle come out, when you're getting upset. We get it. Put your hands on somebody, it's a different conversation.
It really is. Mikey, even though obviously they're different sizes and it's a coach and a player, Zeno is correct. And we've seen players that are not hurt at all make a much, much bigger deal about this than it should be. I'll ask you the same question, though. Is this warranted $100,000? Because I think every one of us would be pissed if we were the head coach who's trying to keep his job in a season where they've blown a bunch of leads and haven't looked good in the fourth quarter.
Maybe I'm on an island all by myself, but good on Jonathan Gannon, because growing up, football coaches used to do way worse. I understand it's 2025 and society has changed, but he's literally just being a professional football coach. Mark DeMarcado feeling bad that he got hit. He should be happy he still has a job after that play. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I grew up loving Rex Ryan. I grew up in Chicago where Buddy Ryan was a god. Those coaches did not care about your feelings or your physical well-being. Who cares?
I actually agree with that, too. We've gotten way soft way soft when it comes to our coaches and our players. But Zeno's right, and Mikey, you're right too. It's just there's enough people out there that make a big deal about this kind of stuff to make it on the other side of the fence. And from a DeMarcado standpoint, is he going to be an Arizona Cardinal, Zeno, by the end of 2025, or is this type of situation something that just can't continue long term?
No, I think he's going to be there. I mean, in the world of professionalism, right? Hopefully, they all have quickly swept this under the rug and moved on to go try to win football games. If they haven't, it'll fall apart, and Gannon will lose his job, and DeMarcado may keep his, or he may end up somewhere else. But the reality of this is that these guys are all paid professionals to go win football games, and that should be the ultimate focus from here forward.
1,000%. Right now, Arizona last place, Mikey, in the AFC West, and the crazy part is they very easily could be in first place in the NFC West. They have been one of those teams that you can't trust, and guess who their quarterback is? Kyler Murray. So these types of things for this team possibly could blow it up. We don't know.
Yeah, and consequences should still exist in the NFL. Whether or not you agree with cutting DeMarcado, I'm pretty sure the LA Chargers would hire anyone to be their starting running back right now. Just trade him. Just get him out of your locker room. Let Jonathan Gannon reestablish himself as the leader of this football team and send a message. Everyone loved Aaron Glenn for cutting someone after he fumbled. So let Jonathan Gannon send a message that we need to right this ship.
Aaron Glenn. I can't tell if I like him yet as a head coach, or if I don't like him yet as a head coach. I can't tell. One day he's running down the sidelines. Yeah, I like him. Other day. All right. We need to have a busy winning day today. A full day of sports across the board. I know a lot of you were not here at the top of the hour because you got a life. And I get that. So it's time right now. Grab your paper, grab your pencil or pen, and lock it in. All right, boys, 10 seconds less. Just one or two nuggets is all that I need. Mr. Zeno, let's start with you, sir.
Cubs money line, desperate spot at elimination game against Quinn Priester and his 6.28 ERA against the Cubs this year. This Priester facade, this joke, this Fugazi run that he was on ended in the last game of the regular season. He'll get bounced here tonight as well. Cubs stay alive. Yankees first five. Cam Schlittler on the mound. He's got to be equally as dominant as he was last time out. Yankees have to score early. Don't think they can come back 2 nights in a row. Blue Jays in a bullpen game. That's their weakest spot. Yankees take advantage early.
That is absolutely going to be a T-shirt between you and Big Tommy C. I'll go ahead and rip his off. He's on the opposite side of the Brewers' money line. More of a gut check than Zeno basing his off of actual numbers. Brewers have been red hot with the bats. They have absolutely pounded the Cubs through the first 2 games of the series, and Tommy believes that it will end 3-0 tonight. Then he's got 2 player props on Thursday Night Football. Philadelphia traveling up the Jersey Turnpike to take on the Giants. Devontae Smith, 5+ receptions. You can get this at BetMGM, -120. All you needs is 5. Doesn't need 5.5, 5. Jalen Hurts, 200+ passing yards at -103. They need this win. They blew a 14-point lead last Sunday to the Broncos. The gas pedal will be down the entire game on Thursday night. I actually love these 2 plays by Big Tommy C. Mikey P, let me come over to you.
Little synergy here with Zeno. I like Cubs first 5 team total over 1.5 because Quinn Priester absolutely stinks, and there's not a better place for October baseball than Wrigley Field in the Midwest. And then for a primetime pop-up, I'm glad you asked, Coach, because Missouri State -1.5. It's a little SGP for you, and Dash Luke, probably my favorite name in college football now, 63 or more receiving yards. You put them together, it's a +224.
Well, in the last hour, Mikey P, the number has moved to 2.5. I feel so much better about that number than 1.5. I can't even tell you. So me and you are going to go head up tonight on prime time because I'm taking Middle Tennessee State. It's a gut. Then the other game tonight, Liberty on the money line -115. We're taking the small points out of it, and I think Liberty gets it done on the road tonight. Zeno, a quick reminder, your thoughts on my Middle Tennessee State play?
Yeah, the Middle Tennessee stinks.
I knew you were Zeno.
All right. Before we get out of here, quick question for both of you. Piggyback. Cubs, Brewers. Ultimately, Mikey, are they playing a game 4?
Yes.
Yes. Zeno, you believe yes.
Yes.
Dodgers and the Phillies. Mikey P, do we see a game 4?
No, and start the Pete Alonso to Philly narrative.
Zeno.
Man. No, I think the Dodgers close this thing out tonight.
All right. Seattle has a chance to close things out today in Detroit. Mikey, do they get it done?
They absolutely do.
Zeno?
Yeah, Seattle doesn't want any part of Tarek's schoolboy. They know they got to win tonight.
Oh, it's like just dangling out there. He's going to go in game 5 if they can get there. And then finally, the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Will the season come to an end at Yankee Stadium tonight, Mikey?
I don't want to get beat up by Zeno, so I will be quiet.
Yeah.
Mr. Zeno, the final statement on the show today is yours.
This my emotional side wants to say yes. My brain says, I don't know if Schlettler could be that good 2 times in a row. So let's go with no.
But what if he can?
If he can, they're going to be fine. If he doesn't even have to be like, 8 innings, no walks, 12 strikeouts good. He just needs to be 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts good.
Can we imagine, though, if he is that good, he'll become a legend in 2 starts. Yep. A legend in 2 starts.
Certainly solidify a spot in the rotation next year.
No doubt. That'd be a nice thought to have heading into 2026. Gentlemen, thank you for today. Great job as always. Love the content. They're as smart as it gets. Turn on those notifications. Don't miss them every single time they're on Coach and Company. All right. It's now time for all of you to go out into the world. Understand you got your phone with you, put your headphones in. We got content throughout the day, and you want to hear all of it, whether it's sports or pro wrestling, and understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire team, damn it, do I love them all. My man Zeno, Mikey P, Big Tommy C, producer man behind the scenes. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day, right here on Stadium Valley Sports Live. Have a great day.